So now, when you see this, we want to start creating project. This is just a skeleton project that when you run it, you can run it from your debugger here. Enable the logo. Just one. Enable it once. So it's telling us JDK 17.
I have to go and clean my dedicated.
That is fine. More to do SDK is not compatible. Source version. Because we will choose the source version to be
Our if you remember that day when we did choose the deadline, after we downloaded it, generated it, just
mm,
so if I change it, I was
oh, you don't change the JDK to 17. Let me see. Let me see. Mm, good. So you see something. You can actually go to select the JDK version. I just want to see the structure. Project structure. So all you need to do is go to the project structure. By project structure. You need to go to the node. Actually, JDK source set is supposed to be change the source to level. Change the source to what? Level. What is happening? Because we are running it through here. If we run it through MVN screen, because when you import the project, it was imported as Java version 11 is not supported. I've actually shown you to I've actually shown you to I wonder why it is still telling me not compatible with the source version. Upgrade to 0 second switch. Okay, let's say 17. There's not 17 here. Let me just run it. It is IntelliJ that is giving me that. This one will work. And the class has a run function. Until you do what? No, it's not Java 17.
when I
Let me see. The form.xml. Maybe because we did not. Let's go to start.phone.io. Okay, if you put 11. Oh, I understand. We should change to this version 2.7. Let's change to this version 2.7. If that is the case, let's change to this version. Sórí Láre yẹn, that Láre is ọpọlọ rẹ̀ ò pé. Ó ti rò pé torí òun ti wà ní school pé ṣó rò pé ẹnìkan máa dáàbò bo ẹni wípé kíní. You have to work now. You need to work. You need to tó o bá fẹ́ ṣiṣẹ́ ni o ò ṣiṣẹ́ nìyẹn náà. Look at it. You see that is the problem. You understand? Now, let's as we are working, so we are still recording. So you have to change to that version because that version 3 you have to use JDK 17 at least, say 17 and above. Let's say we want to connect to our database. For example, I don't want to connect to database for now. So on this note, we'll go ahead to comment this that are responsible for database, right? And then this. Do you understand? The JPA, what is the essence of the function of this?
For you to navigate our database.
And this one called
For us to
connect to database. So because it's throwing this error, so immediately you define this, you have to have a database connection in your property file. Hello, don't answer. So now, if you look at here now, if you look at here, this is the property file. This is where your configuration will be. For now, we are still going to change it, but for now, this is where the connection to database, this is where you define them. You understand? And then that's some other useful resources like images. If you need images to put, you can put it under the static and the template. Let's say you need template and you are working, you want to put your HTML, CSS. That's where you. But all the CSS you put them under the static. But all those HTML you put them under the what? Template. We are coming to that. Yes. But right now we are not going to use that. We just want to create a simple. I told you we want to create a web service, and I explained to you that we have four methods in the web service. We have the get, we have the post, and we have the patch. So when you want to, let me give an example. In a project like this, we used to have a structure. So this is how your structure should be. This is how your structure should be. This is how your structure should be. You should have a like model. You will have a package called service. You have a package called APA. Sorry, repo. Repo. You understand? You have a package called exception. Maybe if you want to undo all this any kind of error, you have a package called controller. This is where all your endpoints will be. You understand? But for now, we are going to start with endpoint. Let's say we want to have a front end. Let me just explain the four methods. I'm going to create something under this controller. I'm going to call it gateway controller. So for this thing for you to turn this thing to a service, you need to annotate it as what? REST controller. Immediately you will put at REST controller, it make it to be what? A service. You understand? Now you now need to give it each of the method. You can define something in each of the method. Let's start with get method. I told you I'm going to explain something. List message. Let's get message. Let's response. Okay. All right. Good night. Welcome to rest service. Now let me now tell you something. This one will prioritize your post because we are returning what string. So you need to prioritize. This is response entity. This response entity comes with string. So if you enable you to return anything, at times you may return string, you can return a class, you can return integer, you can return, but you can equally return another class to create. Do you get it? As an object. Now, this one, we used to have a base this thing, gateway. I call it gateway. You understand? We used to have a base this thing here, which we call it what? Gateway. Which means if you want to access this, if you want to get this message from any service, you need to make a call to this. This is the endpoint is what? Is our base URL is going to be plus gateway. You understand? Plus message. Do you get it? So now you see this base URL. In every application, we used to have URL for the application. So if you are running on local host on your local system. You don't on this. If you are running, for example, let me give you an example. Look at it. It's telling you that it's using embedded Tomcat. Like the other time when you used to use live server. Live server used to give you a port number. But the port number here is what? 8080 by default. But we are going to change it. You get it? I'm going to show you how to change it. So now, if you want to access these resources, you understand? It's going to return JSON to you. This is a GET request, which means you can type it directly in the web browser to access it. Or we can go to our Postman. Let's go to our Postman. Let's go to our Postman to do to do. Let me create something here. Let's see. So the URL will now be HTTP localhost 8080. Going to be gateway slash what message. So if you try it now, you see what it's returned to. Welcome to rest service. You understand? So there is something I need to explain to you. Do you get it? This is how, let's say we want to return a class. Let's say under this model, we created, let's say, user details, right? I'm going to say a data, I'm going to annotate it with a data so that it will have get and set. Let me say string. I'm going to explain to you. Now, in get and set, right? If I didn't put here, I have to say create a method for get and set. Yes, it has already created a method for get and set. Instead of no, we don't need to create it ourselves. That is the essence of that Bloom book that we added. You understand? And here I can let's create another method, another get method. Let's say get user. Let me say I call it user. What I want to return is I want to return that user detail. You understand? So I can say user detail is equal to new user detail, right? I can say user dot set. I can say Ahmad at gmail.com, right? I can say user dot set name. Say you understand? So instead of passing this in the body, I can pass my user in the body. Do you get it? If you run it, if you go to Postman, you know what we are saying before was just message. So if I say user, hmm, I change it, that means the endpoint is what? User. If I get it, can you see? I get a JSON. So it convert it what? A JSON. Do you get it? So what of if you want to pass something, you want to pass data to the server? There are two different ways we pass data to the server. I mean three different ways. Through the request body, through the query parameter, through the request parameter. I want to show you something now. Only can you see now? Can you see this one? When you see mail.com, this is the endpoint mail. But this parameter u, they say u is equal to, you see this one is what we call path parameter. This is path parameter. Do you get it? And if it is path parameter, there's a way you get the path parameter. I don't know if you get it. If you come here now, can you see it? This is a path parameter. Yes, this is a thread. This is another what? Path parameter. So this is path variable. Do you get it? If you want to create, let's say we want to create something like of this. Let's say this is the we want user to be able to pass an email, or let's say the identification number. So if we want to do something like this, let's say we want to create something like this, we want to say okay, uh, that is, we want to say okay, number one. You understand? That means number what? One part parameter. If you want to have a URL like this, let's see how we are going to create it. Get user. Let's say okay, we don't want. Let's say retrieve user. Let's go ahead to add something to this user. Let's say ID, right? Right. Let me make it a what? Integer. So let's say that is set ID one, right? Now we want to say user ID. So this is how it goes. Put ID here. It has to be here. So each of these part parameter and a part variable, we have something like this curly brace. So, and I have to make it say, I have to annotate it at what? Part variable. And make it what? ID. And I say integer, sorry, integer ID. So in that case, I will be able to retrieve this ID. Let me comment it and say it's string. You understand? I can say, let's try to say, hello, your ID is plus this ID. You understand? Let's run it again. So remember that it's before what? User. We call this one to be what? Part variable. And how you are going to get it? So let's go ahead to say we want to get this, right? You say hello, your ID is this. So if I still want to add something like this, um, the thing, I still want to add something like this, and I want to be able to get, I want to be able to get this. So that means I can come here. I say after this, I can still put this. I can give it any name, username. I just want to give it a name. So that means here I need to have another part variable. I'll say username. This username must match what we have here. You understand? So that it will be able to say, but this one, even this one may be user, but this one is the most important thing. So let's say, and your username is, let's pass you away. Do you get it?
Take the user from here.
Well,
We have not given it any name.
look at the, I'm telling you now that this one is just an identifier. This one is the most important thing that will map it to this. It has to tally with what? This. Or if you like, change this one to what? The username. I just did it so that you understand that this name is not really the matter. So let's go. If I go here, I pass a username. So it will return my, can you see? It return my username. If I say uh, Ahmad, can you see it? That is through part parameter you can get all these requests. You can get all those ID. There's another way we call it query parameter. You understand? Query parameter. That's how you pass data to the what? To the get user by email. Let's say we want to retrieve user by email. Let's say we have a name called, we call it profile. You understand? Query parameter, you annotate query parameter with this. It's not going to be at part variable, it's going to be request request param. You understand? Let me put email here. I can put email here. Let's say hello. Email is email. This is another way aside from part param. So you are going to see how we are going to call it now. If we have a profile, right, and it's what? Profile. You see that part param? This is how it's going to be. It's going to be question mark. Email is equal to.
On some websites, question like you always import because one question like
Can you see it? If I check this, can you see? Say your hello, your email is what? Let's say I want to pass another thing again. I want to pass a phone number. So you need to come here. You say at request param, let me say phone. Let's say string phone. You understand? Let's add something, say and your phone. Let's put what phone, right? So let's run it again. See, that means if I have it more than one at query parameter, it's going to be and phone equal to. Do you get it? You need to, if you have more than three, you say and but the first one you have to put question mark in the front of the request. Can you see it? So this is how we pass data to the server, to the our service using query parameter and at what part parameter. So I'm going to stop the video from here. We are going to do post tomorrow. By the time, yes, I